if you're going to be in the Bitcoin mining business, then you're naturally long Bitcoin. And if you're naturally long Bitcoin, it's inconsistent to ever sell it. So if you're a Bitcoin miner and Bitcoin goes to zero, your business is worth zero. And if Bitcoin goes up and you sold your Bitcoin, your business is worth 20% of what it would have been worth. So if you really are a Bitcoin miner, you're long Bitcoin, which means you hodl all the Bitcoin. And so at this point, I think you see an emerging consensus in the past 12 months that if you're a Bitcoin miner, you should never sell it. Okay, now that's only consistent with the idea of Bitcoin miners all coming public in the North American markets. If you're a Chinese Bitcoin miner, you didn't have the capital markets to not sell it. You have to dump it on the market, right?
Yeah.
And the narrative was always, oh, the miners are dumping, they have to sell their Bitcoin, right? Watch the miners. And if you're a Bitcoin miner, Raoul, in Europe, or if you were trading on the Canadian stock exchange or the European stock exchange, if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll find that those companies had a liquidity of like $2 million a day, $1 million of trading a day, $5 million a day on a good day. If you look at the liquidity in Marathon and Riot, 400 million a day, 250 million a day.
Incredible.
Okay, so wake up call. You move from a cash business to a small, to the secondary public markets, to the primary public markets. When you move to the primary public markets, let's take MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy had a full market capitalization of $1 billion before in August of last year, with 500 million in cash. And we've had days where we traded $1 billion worth of equity. Now we have 500 million in liquidity a day. Okay, so what is that telling you? Right, the answer is as the companies in the space come public and as they migrate to the capital markets with the greatest amount of capital, if you can raise equity capital, at a high multiple, that's cheap capital. If you can raise convertible debt, since we talked, MicroStrategy did a $650 million debt offering and paid 75 basis points, but then we followed up with a $1.05 billion debt offering and paid zero interest. And then we followed up with a senior debt offering and we paid 6 1/8 interest on just junk debt. There's nobody in the space that thinks that Bitcoin isn't going up 6% a year.
No.
Nobody. So the issue is, do you know how much how much capital I've invested in Bitcoin at this point, Raoul?
No.
$3,335 million.
That's pretty spectacular.
So one person.
Yeah.